No doubt.
That's it? Wait a minute. I got it.
And now a word from
Ron and Fez.
Ron and Fez! Hey!
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Buddies.
Buddies, it's the Ron and Fez show, and we are live. I'm Ron, there's Fez.
Hiya, buddies. And we will be here till 11 o'clock tonight on WJFK and Live 105.7.
Short porch tonight, Fezzy.
Yeah, this is the short one.
Yeah.
So we'll get started. Bill Clinton was on 60 Minutes last night talking about his life and his new book, My Life. What did you think of Bill?
Fezzy, I watched until I heard this. And then I literally turned it off. I hate when all right, what was the proudest day of your presidency? I'd have to say the day my daughter graduated. Would you stop it? Stop being Billy Crystal. We don't need that schmaltzy thing.
That was going to happen whether you're in the White House or not.
Yeah, everybody loves their family. Stop trying to act like there's something unique about you because you love your daughter. Just move on and answer the real questions.
Now, he throws out the family answer till the question becomes, you were in Australia on 9/11. What was the first thing you thought of? Not is my daughter safe, not is my wife safe. Osama did this.
Well, I don't think he knew that his daughter was downtown the way Hillary did, because she was just down there for an appointment. But I just, maybe it's from the total whitewashing of Reagan. I'm not ready for the whitewashing of Clinton. I'm not ready to just say every president was wonderful and let's move on.
Well, Dan Rather actually started talking to him about having a state funeral.
They both looked like they were welled up together, like they were a couple of old grandmothers looking back over their life. I don't understand it.
My favorite thing I think I got out of the whole hour-long interview is that Bill Clinton's stepfather was the dude.
Yeah, I like the dude, too. I saw the thing with the dude. And I'm like, why didn't we know that before? Why didn't we know about Dude Clinton?
I might have voted for him if I had known about the dude.
All right, now here's what I like. The guy was a drunk, beat up his mom, and yet adult Bill Clinton still keeps the mutt's name. That's the first thing I would have shook off me if somebody smacked my mom. I'm not carrying that guy's name around on my back.
We should have had President Blythe. Now, when they went to the cemetery, he's pointing out where the dude is buried to Dan Rather, and then he goes, and then over here is my mother. So he didn't put his mother next to the dude.
No,
as much as he loved his stepdaddy.
Well, he's saved that spot for himself and Hillary.
Oh, he's Elvis.
He's going to go in between them. Yeah, everybody's going to be buried together like Elvis's house. I never understand those Southern people who all want to be buried in their yard because the kids are just going to use you as third base.
Well, they get to the cemetery and there's the sign for the family plot, but the list of family names goes on and on and on.
That's Southern people. They love to be together.
And then there's just a little tiny gate all around them.
Yeah.
Where they're all kept together.
That's why anything happens to you, Fez, I'm burning you up and throwing you in the bay the way you always want it.
I've never wanted to be burned up, and don't throw me in the bay. I don't swim well.
I'm just dumping you off somewhere off the eastern shore. Doesn't matter where. I know you love it so.
They'll never find me.
Well, they're not looking for you. That's the beauty. You're crab food.
That's the body I want. Now, in the book, President Clinton called his affair with Monica Lewinsky the darkest part of his life and said he was disgusted by their encounters. Is Monica going to make it through the book tour without commenting?
I don't know why. I mean, she has every right to. If somebody brings up your name now, she ought to write her own book. Fat Girl Talks.
It's so funny because every clip, every excerpt we get is about Monica and how disgusting and what a huge mistake it was. And I know eventually we're going to get into the area of odor. It's going to happen.
I wish that he would just say, I could have had Barbra Streisand. But for some reason, I went off with Monica.
Well, I slept with the cow because I could. Yeah. I enjoyed the cow's company.
She was there for me. What am I going to do? Any ship, any port in the storm, the way the sailors always say.
He's also not too easy on himself because he calls himself in the book a fat band boy.
Now, what's he talking about there? Like a boy band thing?
He was in band and he was fat.
So marching band.
Marching band, yeah.
Yeah, well, here's the point. Get over being the fat band geek. It doesn't matter anymore. You were the 2-time president of the United States. Feel proud of yourself.
He said his first sexual stirring scared him. Well, he certainly conquered that phobia, didn't he?
Yeah, now your sexual stirrings scare everybody else.
Write a book on how to get over fear, my friend. I'll buy it at that point.
Well, his thing is he feels the fear but just keeps doing it. That's the beauty of Fat Band Boy. I was so fat, and the trumpet didn't help. That's what he's basically crying about on TV.
One time I got stuck in my tuba. The dude wouldn't help me.
How old was he when the dude died?
Oh, he was like, well, he said he got old enough to beat up the dude for hitting his mother.
Yeah.
You know, so I would guess probably in his late teens, early 20s.
The dude was just wearing Zubaz around the house, smoking pot.
And his first dad, Blythe, went off the road and drowned in a river. So there's like you mentioned, the Southern family. Every Southern family has one of those stories.
Oh, absolutely. Too. This is so Arkansas. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Iran has confiscated 3 British vessels that had crossed into Iran's territorial waters and arrested 8 sailors aboard the ships.
This is all we need now, Fuzzy. This is really, really all we need.
Well, this is bad because Iran actually does have weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
They have the nukes.
And we don't like them. They don't like us. Now the Brits are going to go wherever our boats, and we're just going to have to say, shut up.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. Send us a bill for the boats.
Yeah, we will have to tell them, listen, this isn't any part of us, all right? We got our hands full. Afghanistan, Iraq, we can't go house to house in this neighborhood anymore like we hoped to.
I know you're the only people who really followed us in, but we can't be there for you right now.
What's 3 boats? And, you know, when I hear British vessels, I still think Master and Commander. I don't even think of anything modern.
Well, you should, because these are modern times. You didn't live in Master and Commander times.
They took Russell Crowe, apparently.
He can handle himself. Maybe we just go over there and we just start and patrol that thing with big pirate ships. Just let them know. That ought to scare the hell out of them.
What does that skull and crossbones mean? What are they doing?
That's what they say when they see the cross anyway. It all looks like a skull and crossbones to them.
A military judge says the Abu Ghraib prison is a crime scene and it cannot be demolished as President Bush had offered to do.
You know, the first thing you do after a crime is committed, you don't make everything better by burning down the building. Manson thought maybe that was a good idea. Hey, remember, make sure no one's alive when you leave. But for like normal, civilized people, you don't think knock down. You're upset about what happened? Well, knock down the building.
Well, you know, and he said it, and then the Iranians came back and said, listen, the Iraqis came back and said, that building cost us $100 million. We can't have another building knocked down.
The way we're feeling right now will blow up the whole country. And that way nobody will bring it up again. All right, Fezzi, the Vatican is holding a special summit with Catholic leaders from around the world because they're alarmed by Madonna reaching Catholics through her Kabbalah teachings. They're trying to figure out a way to deal with this so-called New Age religions and fads that pose a threat to Christianity. Do you think that Madonna is a threat to Christianity?
I don't think Madonna's a threat to Christianity. She's not really a threat to fashion or anything else either. I mean, you either like Madonna and you're into some things, but most people aren't going to have their opinion swayed by Esther.
Why should anybody be upset that your religion is not going to have the same marketing points it used to? That's the problems with the Christians. They always are trying to bring up their demographics. They want to make sure not only are they Christians, they want everybody else to be Christians. And it's driving everybody crazy.
Well, this Madonna, she can't do anything right, I guess. You know, before she was like too sexy and too in your face. Now she's going to church and she's still in trouble.
She left your religion. Leave her alone. And don't worry what everybody else is doing. The last time you did, you started burning witches for no apparent reason.
I know, because if you go after Madonna for not being Catholic or not practicing Catholic, you have to go after everybody.
What do you think they've been doing for the last 1,800 years? They've been going after everybody. The Hawaiians had their own religion. That wasn't good enough. They had to come over and slap some Jesus into everybody.
Then I noticed on 60 Minutes last night, Bill Clinton's wearing one of those Kabbalah bracelets.
Well, he's trying to pick up Madonna. That's more of a party thing than anything else.
I think it meant he can drink. He's old enough to drink at the bar.
Unbelievable, though, isn't it?
It's very bizarre.
It's like Coca-Cola suddenly worried that other people are drinking new beverages. Stop acting like a huge corporation. Work on the spirituality of things.
She finally found something that she feels good about that's going to keep her clothes on. You know, she said, I'm not going to get nude anymore.
They're not worried about her, Fez. Here's what they're worried about. Other people going, hey, that looks so fun. She's got her life together. Maybe I should join it. That's their problem. That's what they're really worried about.
It seems like you shouldn't worry about it. If someone's finding some sort of path to peace and God,
then how are they going to get paid, Fez? That's what they're worried about. How are they going to get paid if they all start going somewhere else?
I don't think Madonna's going to take enough away to make a dent in the purse strings. Ken Griffey Jr., his 500th home run, he hit it over the weekend. Junior going to make the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely, Junior's going to make the Hall of Fame. I think everybody who's ever hit 500 home runs is in the Hall of Fame. And remember when everybody wrote this guy off about 4 years ago when he started getting injured, he's healthy again, and he's hitting the hell out of the ball.
Yeah, I saw where it's like if he had those 3 years back and if he was healthy, he'd probably be hitting around 600 home runs right now.
You know what? But 500 is enough to be amazed with. With the fact of he should be hitting 600. The guy's still in his early 30s. He could go on to hit 700 home runs if he stays healthy. And remember, this guy we know for a fact is doing it all without the juice. This guy is all natural. And for some reason, the last couple of years, because the guy got hurt, people were acting like he was dogging it or faking or whatever. He's been a really, really strong player. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. It is the Ron and Fez Show.